Greetings everyone, Francis Fernando, hashtag how much will I make? This is my mantra when it comes to real estate investing. If you are a busy professional and you are looking to get into a real estate transaction, you will be parking your hard-earned money into that real estate transaction. I want you to know exactly how much you are going to make on that transaction. Hence, the hashtag how much will I make? If you are a busy professional, you're also going to be allocating your time and resources into transacting that real estate transaction. I want you to know exactly how much that piece of real estate is going to profit you so that you can look at your return on your time investment to get involved in that asset. Potential asset purpose. So that's been my mantra in real estate. My mantra has been, you should know exactly what you're purchasing. So today, folks, I'm super excited to have a casual conversation with you, a casual conversation on a topic that is called using automation to convert every real estate call into a lead. Using automation to convert every real estate call into a lead. As a real estate professional, we are all bombarded. Our devices are constantly ringing off the hook. And this device is a representation of a greater and more broader communication issue that we have. We get bombarded with emails, we get bombarded with requests to do lunch and learns, we get bombarded with requests to attend networking sessions. So we as real estate professionals are bombarded with this people interaction business. They want to call us, they want to sell to us, they want to buy from us, they want to meet us, they want to get our opinion. We get numerous phone calls that start off like this. Hey Francis, got a second for a quick question? And that quick question then leads into a 1 hour, 2 hour conversation. So the question is, how do we as real estate professionals manage that time so that we're giving the best service and building trust with our potential audience and our clients and our network, but at the same time, we are not being allowed to be taken advantage of. So that's really the purpose here. I want to share with you real quick, when I was a property manager running a residential property management company, managing over $40 million worth of real estate. I started this business from ground up. And when I mean ground up, folks, I'm talking about old school ground up. I was not VC backed, so I didn't have any VC funding to protect me or to fund my business. This was hard-earned savings that went into a business, and if that business failed, which it was not an option for me, but if that business failed, I would be walking home, or maybe I should say not walking home, I would be walking somewhere but home, because I probably would have lost my home and I would have been homeless. So needless to say, failure was not an option for me. And when failure is not an option, what do? You take every single phone call. You answer every single email. You go for every single networking session. And that is what is called hustle. And hustle needs to be defined like that. Hustle is not getting VC funded and not really working hard and throwing money at a problem. Hustle is working your tail off. But I digress. So, back to the point of this. So as an early starter, as a young in the business professional, young in the business entrepreneur, I took every single phone call. But it got to a point where I hit the wall. I crashed and burned because I just could not manage the call volume, I could not manage the email volume, and I felt like I was bombarded. So what I needed to do is I needed to categorize, and I needed to figure out and do a roll the tape back and look at what calls I was getting, what types of calls were then converting into future business, what type of calls were converting into immediate business, and what type of calls were converting into complete, utter losses. And that's essentially what I did. I sat down and I categorized my business, and I categorized my marketplace. I categorized my messaging out to the world, and I said, who am I as a business attracting? There are similarities in the groups or the categories of people that I attract. And I urge you and I challenge you to do the same in your business. Go out there and look at the categories of the people that are calling you. And as disingenuous as it sounds, it is important in the very first 30 seconds to 1 minute that you're on a phone call, that you're in a meeting, that you're at a networking session, that you're on an email with someone, that you are able to take that, it's a skill, take that conversation, take that phone call, take that voicemail, take that email, and categorize them by understanding the language that's being used, or by the questions that you ask and the responses that you get back. You should be able to categorize them into no more than 3 buckets for your business. So when I was a property manager, I had 3 buckets. Here were the 3 buckets: for the phone calls that I received, for the emails that I would get, and for the networking sessions. Prospective client, no properties being owned right now. So they are a future client that is in the investing realm. They are professionals that have an amount of good, healthy cash flow coming in from their job, and they're looking at investing in real estate as a path towards creating wealth. That was my number 1 category of people that I would like to coach. So that was category number 1. Category number 2 was also a hot lead. Category number 2 is someone that has a property, owns a property, is either self-managing it or has a property manager, but is dissatisfied with the property manager or is dissatisfied with the way that they're managing their own units, or they're burnt out. They are looking to make a decision. That's a hot category. And my last category was people who are just fishing out there. They don't have the money or don't have the desire, but they've heard that real estate is important to get into. They've heard the benefits, and they've been lured by the riches of real estate, and they just want to get an idea and waste my time and ask me questions like, what do I think about the market? How much do I charge? What would I do for free? So these are the people who are going to eternally waste my time. So there are, again, 3 categories. Hot leads, people who are going to buy my service, people who are at the cusp of buying, and people who are going to waste my time. Now, I categorized those 3 because I did not discard anyone. I made sure that based on my model, right, what am I going to do with each of these categories? But it's important to realize that this should be done within the first minute of interacting with someone. Again, it does sound very, I don't want to say disingenuous, but it sounds like your focus in life is only business. But as it pertains to growing a business, as it pertains to your real estate business, if you are a real estate agent, if you are a property manager, or if you're a serious business person that is in business mode and not in casual mode, then it's important within the first 60 seconds to determine one of those 3 categories. And place them into that category. Today, as my business is today, I only have 2 categories. And for the purposes of illustration, I'll give you what those 2 categories are. Category number 1 is you are a new first-time real estate investor. How do I help you, and what programs do I have as a real estate coach? What programs do I have that could be of value to you? That's number 1. Number 2 is you're a seasoned real estate investor. You're a seasoned real estate investor that owns a large portfolio. You have a property manager, but you're so large in a sense, or you're at that sort of medium cusp that you want to create your own property management company. Those are really my main two buckets that I deal with in today's world. The third category, I don't even deal with. I'm at a stage where I don't really get the calls for people just wasting my time. I get serious investors, or I get prospective serious investors contacting me, and that's how I transact my business today. So I encourage you, take a look at your business, take a look at the categories of people that are calling you. If you're a real estate agent, if you're a property manager, it won't take long. This is a sit down in a dark room and think through at the nature of the calls that you're getting. Think through about the type of services that you're offering, the type of services that you want to boost up more, and build a response mechanism. Automated. So these could be email automations. This could be a reminder that says, hey, this message came in, and it's got to prompt a phone call because it's a hot lead and you do need to send a phone call. And maybe it's a combination of a phone call and an email and a follow-up. But with the power of automation, all these steps can be taken care of. I hope this video was of value to you. I know if I had seen a video like this in my early stages as an entrepreneur, it would have been of immense value to me. But nonetheless, you learn. Some people learn the hard way, and I learned the hard way. I hit a wall by making myself answer and stressing myself to answering every phone call and not categorizing it, and having my time to a certain extent be wasted. But nonetheless, you learn from those mistakes and you move on. And today I am here to share my message with you. And so that's really the power. So I want to move to the next stage of our episode here, which is our rapid fire questions. So these are 3 questions that may have emerged as our discussion developed in our episode here. The most frequently asked questions. I'm going to ask those questions and I'm going to answer it. And after this episode, you are more than welcome to reach out to me to have a further discussion about this. So, rapid fire question number 1 is, Francis, what is the first step you would take to categorize your clients? Excellent question. Here's what I would do. Like I said, I would sit in a dark room and I would take the time to figure out what my service offerings are. What are my service offerings? And I would categorize those service offerings into 2 to 3 components, no more than 2 to 3 components. Who do they serve? Then I would sort of marry that or clash that or crash that with the calls that are coming or the marketplace that I'm attracting, and I would then bucketize those calls, those emails that are coming into one of those 3 categories. Hope that answers the question. Question number 2. Francis, when you ran your property management business, can you summarize how you converted leads into business? Walk through your process of lead generation. So I'll give you a quick example. I already went through this in our episode, but I had 3 categories. The categories were an investor who's on the cusp. This is a person who has a job and is making decent income and wants to park some of that money in real estate. This was a pretty warm lead. And so what I would do is nurture those clients. I would definitely have a mechanism of sharing information with them. So I had an email sequence that was it was automated, but it was a very personalized automated email sequence, if that makes sense. So I would have that along with a combination of a phone call and a free 1-hour strategy session. So it was a series of phone calls, all again automated, along with sharing a full disclosure of information. And then a series of other nurturing tools that went down the road. Invitations to events that I spoke at. I mean, a series of different things. The second one was, these are hot leads. These are people who have property, who are either managing it themselves or were dissatisfied with their existing property manager. These were hot leads. These people required a phone call. They required a phone call and an email that actually showcased my contract with a, are you ready to sign here? Almost like a DocuSign. If you're ready to move your business post our phone call, then sign here. Let's get you signed up, closed, and into our world of property management. Hot leads. No wasting time on those phone calls. An immediate callback. And then the third were the people that were not sure what they wanted to do and no idea where they were going. These people were not discarded, because I did not discard anyone. These folks were put on again a personalized automated email sequence with the opportunity to join us on our live sessions at the time, Facebook live sessions, to welcome to meet our staff at different events. When we did industry events, we would let them know that we were doing industry events and had them stop by our booth, had them stop by our vendor booth when we were at trade shows. So an invitation to our world to learn more about us, to answer those very basic questions. So that was a full expansion of sort of what I did from a property management world. Question number 3, Francis, how long would it take to set up a customer journey, a funnel, a customer journey, and a customer experience system that captures all the automated responses back? I would say if you were dedicated with your messaging, if you had your messaging down, you knew exactly where you were going as far as who your clients are, so there was clarity on who your clients were, what your product is, and we can marry the two very quickly. I would say a weekend you could come up with a very effective sales funnel, a very effective customer journey, customer response mechanism that is not simply automated, where you take the warm nature of a business, because I believe, and I'm a strong believer, that people do business with people. Again, I want to say that people do business with people. And automation, if it's not done right, has a tendency to break that people do business with people part, and it becomes people do business with machines. And I make sure that the structure that you have, and I encourage you to make sure that the structure that you build really reinforces that people connection, because that's what I do. So with that, we have ended the rapid fire session. Again, I hope this video was of value to you, and if you do want to connect with me, please reach out, send me a message, and I would love to help work with you. Take care.